Thank you very much for joining us here on The Pulse. My name is Ernest Minu. Let's settle for the details of the stories now. And police in Tema have arrested a mother suspected to have poisoned her two children. The children, a 2-year-old girl and 8-month-old boy, were reportedly fed rat poison by their mother. The 28-year-old suspect, Abigail Adubai, is said to have told the police she could not cater for the children because their father was not providing their needs. Tema Region Crime Officer ACP Paul Frimpong narrates exactly what happened.
It was yesterday 5:30 p.m. that we had information to that effect. So some of our officers went to the scene and noticed that there were two children on the bed who were cold when to the touch. And they also realized that they were foaming from the mouth. So they asked of the mother, and they got to know of the mother, and the mother said the children had fallen sick the previous week and had taken them to hospital, and that the medicines that the hospital gave them, that is what he was giving to them. And the night prior to the incident, they had given them some of the medicine, but when they woke up, he realized that the children were still sleeping and they were cold. So she had to go and tell the mother, and the mother asked two of the children, elder children, to come and see what was happening. So when they got there, they also realized that the children were dead. So that was what he was telling us. But when we saw that they were foaming from the mouth, we had suspicion that probably they might have taken some poisonous substance. So all the substances that we suspected to be medicine or whatever it is were taken by the police for further investigation. The two children were taken to the police hospital. The doctor testified that they were dead and that they have been put into the morgue for autopsy and further investigations.
Now, this will be a crime of what proportion? For the criminal code, where does it fall?
Yes. Currently, we are considering the crime of murder. That is what we're investigating. So if by the conclusion of our investigation, some other offense is what comes out, or if no offense has been committed, then we will take it from there. But currently, we are investigating the case of murder.
Is it normal for a mother to just act the way she did?
Well, I'm not in a position to say that, but that is her story. She hasn't confessed well that she poisoned her. So we're still investigating in our custody. Our officers are going to the hospital she alleged we send the children to confirm or otherwise, and then we'll take it from there.
Where is the lady currently?
She's in our custody.
Okay. In Accra or in Tema?
In Tema.
Mm.
So that is the police's own account of what happened, but correspondent in Tema, Kwame Yanka, who's been to the Mahia community where the incident happened, joins me via Zoom with more on this. Kwame, you have been to the community interacting with members there. What have you gathered?
Well, Ernest, members of the community are so shocked to learn of this incident. What they tell me, Abigail has been with them in the last 3 years, and but they are shocked to learn of this as at what happened yesterday. But according to them, in the last few days, her behavior has changed, and they believe she's joined some members of the community who are somehow influencing her behavior. So they are, some are surprised it happened, others are not, in a sense that they believe she's being influenced by the people she's working with or moving with at this point. I've also been speaking to a priestess in the neighborhood by name Avoito Aponti. She relates to Abigail somehow of a mother, because according to her, from childhood, she's known Abigail from childhood, and she takes Abigail as her daughter. So every now and then, Abigail comes to her if she is in need of anything. She's able to help one way or the other, financially or materially, one way or the other. She's able to help Abigail. But for yesterday, when she came in, she didn't come with her children. So it got the priestess worried. And she asked where her children were, Abigail's children were. She was unable to give the exact location. And from the responses, the priestess suspected that there was something wrong, for which she asked that Abigail be held at the priestess' house. And then some neighbors sent to Abigail's end to check what was really happening to her children. Lo and behold, the neighbors went there, but came back crying, just to tell the priestess that, well, the unexpected had happened and the children were foaming, for which the priestess asked that Abigail be arrested, hence her arrest.
Now, you've also been speaking to the community people. Do they tell you that prior to this incident, she had made pronouncements that sort of gave the indication that she was frustrated and that probably she could engage in something as tragic as this?
Well, Ernest, yes, that's part of the hearsay, but it could be confirmed at the end of investigations. Well, according to them, Abigail in the last few days has been, one way or the other, jokingly been saying that, well, she wishes to get rid of her children because, according to them, she is taking care of the children. The father in question is nowhere to be found, so she's just putting, things together to ensure that the babies or the children survive on daily basis. So it's somehow of a burden on her shoulders, and she's bearing all the pain and whatever she could do in her capacity to take care of the children. So she would want to get rid of the children. So that's why I'm saying that some are not surprised that this one has come in. They took as a joke. They took, when she started making such pronouncements as a joke, only for them to learn yesterday that it had indeed happened.
And for the father of these children who are now dead, sadly, has he shown up? Do you know him? Do the community people know who he is? And if at all, the claims that he's not taking care of the children, there's any truth in that?
Okay, well, Ernest, well, this yet to be established in the sense that the father in question does not live in the community with them. So Abigail does everything in her bit to take care of these children. And the man, I'm told, lives in a different community. So Abigail, takes care of these children at the man here, I should say.
As our Tema region correspondent, Kwame Yanka, following up on this rather tragic story and bringing us some more detail on this. But what will make a mother take the lives of her own children? We've been speaking to consultant psychiatrist Dr. Emmanuel Dodoye, and he spoke to Roland Walker on the AM show on the possibilities as far as this issue is concerned. Listen.
This all points towards one condition. That means they have an impaired judgment. Looking at this case, this woman obviously does not show any remorse of her actions. And she may not even think that it is wrong for what she did, because just like in the case of Charles Entry, he actually said that going to prison is going to delay him from becoming a president. Now he's going to spend some time in prison before, when he comes out, he becomes the president. So this was an obvious impairment in judgment. So looking at this woman, and I think I have read somewhere, I think on Ghana Web or so, that she had made mention that she will kill the children, days before this happened. So she obviously showed signs of mental illness even before this happened. And in this case, I understand no attempt was made to cover her tracks. So she did not kill them and hide them, or she did not kill them and, she didn't even realize she can be kind of prosecuted for, what she did. So basically, she does not understand the implications of her actions. So this woman has an impaired judgment. And we can see this condition commonly in schizophrenia. It can happen in some mood disorders, but largely schizophrenia, where people have impaired thinking or impaired thinking process. And that is what I see here. I've not seen her, I've not assessed I cannot make a diagnosis. But from the short video I see, This is a woman who does not know the implications of her actions because she has impaired ability to judge whether, I mean, this is right or wrong. I've had a similar case in the hospital where the woman actually killed the baby because he said the baby was crying too much. So she only used a rope to tie the head of the baby just to stop crying. And the baby died. So these things are common. And until we invest in mental health care, we screen for mental health conditions like this. Because like, I mean, from the report, this lady had symptoms, which we saw earlier, but nobody thought she needed attention. It goes down to how mentally illiterate. So we have something called mental health literacy. As a country, our mental health literacy is very low. So when people show obvious signs of mental illness, we don't realize, we don't pick it up to even help them. It's quite unfortunate that the first thing we think we should do is to arrest her and send her through the criminal, procedure. But I think we have gone this road before. Like I said, a woman killed her 5 children. We were all announcing to look for her, to arrest her because she's committed murder. And she also died by suicide. These are because she was mentally ill. The thinking normally is, if the world is so bad, so cruel to me like this, probably it is worse for my children. So let me send the children to heaven first. Then I will follow them. So we need to understand some of these things. And I really do not think anybody deserves to be punished for being sick. If this woman is assessed and found out to be mentally ill, then we cannot punish her. I think we should realize as a state we have failed her for not keeping her alive to save those 2 children.
Now, if we've made inferences to past incident, how is the weaknesses or the absence or lapses we have in our psychosocial support systems one of the precursors for some of these things that we're seeing?
Yes, thank you very much. Because the first challenge is that, do people around know what mental illness is?
Very sad developments then. We are following up on this. We'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletins.